guys. I can't believe I'm back. It's been so long. I'm so sorry how long it's been. I apologize. A lot of things have happened, I feel like, since I recorded last. My last actual, sit-down podcast was talking about my testimony. I did a couple of Dancing with the Stars ones, but I haven't actually sat down and, talked about, my life in a long time. When I first started this podcast, I had extremely high expectations. I really thought that it was going to be really easy and fun, and something that my therapist was talking to me about yesterday, she was like, when you start something new, a lot of the times you already started it and finished it in your head with your expectations before it actually happens. Just from excitement, and you're just like, wow, it's going to be so fun. You have such high expectations. And I feel like that is what happened with this. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have an episode out every single week. I have so many ideas. It's going to be so easy. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, well, actually, this is a lot more than I expected it to be. I have never had a podcast before. I've always done YouTube, but YouTube is really different. YouTube is more just less production-y. This is I gotta figure out GarageBand and my microphone and the audio and everything's connecting, and there's a lot more that has to do with my laptop, and I have an older laptop, so that has been a struggle too with storage and things like that. So there's a lot of extra details that are different than YouTube. And I think it was also really hard for me to just sit down and talk. I thought it was going to be easy. But then I was like, wait, so what do I say? And then I felt like I had to have this huge, list of things that I was going to talk about and just have everything. I'm not the best speaker. I feel like I get a little jumbled up, a little anxious, so my words just get jumbled up. I skip over parts of stories and things like that. So I think it just felt like a lot of pressure trying to make sure that I almost had this scripted in a way. Even though I couldn't actually read from a script, but just having so many notes where it was I wasn't really just being able to sit and be myself. So I think I was really putting a lot of pressure on myself. How am I going to talk about these topics? I have no experience, and how am I going to give advice when I'm just a girl? I feel like I was just feeling really overwhelmed, making excuses, obviously. And yeah, so the last time I recorded my testimony, that was in September. I just checked, that's all I know. And it is March now, so it's been 5 months. So it's a long time. I went from posting, being once a week podcast, to literally posting 3 times and then never posting again. So I feel like there's some reasons behind it, but I think mostly I was just getting and feeling really overwhelmed. And it was a lot more, when you get into something and you're I just feel like, I was also talking to my therapist about this yesterday, is that if we were shown starting something new, if you're shown all of the difficulties, you probably wouldn't even try it, because why would I get into something that I know is going to be that's not going to be easy? So I think that has always been a struggle for me, is sticking with things, and when they get hard or get challenging, I just get burnt out quickly because I have such high expectations in the start. And I feel like I learned a lot from this. I feel like normally I don't really like everybody hearing me. I don't really like people watching my TikToks that I know. I really just would rather have 4 people watching and just delete everybody out of my life that I know and just have new people watching. So when I put this podcast out there to people that I knew on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff, it was really there was just a lot going on at once. It was just an adrenaline rush of things. So it was just a lot all at once, and I was scared, but I was also really excited, and it felt like such like an amazing journey that I never expected that God would put into my life, honestly, in the way that it's happened now. So yeah, I think it was just a lot, and now I'm embarrassed a little bit because I'm like, oh my God, like why did it's just, I don't know, but you know, you gotta fall sometimes so you can come back even stronger. So let me go back a little bit, jump back in time a little for, I guess, kind of update you guys about the last 5 months. So I posted my testimony in September, and then I had a couple Dancing with the Stars episode reviews after that. And then in November, my grandmother got sick, literally right around Thanksgiving. And it was really unexpected. We lost my grandfather, which was her husband, and it's almost been a year now, so it was like late March. And my grandma really hadn't been the same since he passed away. Like, her memory was really bad, and yeah, she just wasn't the same after that. And then with it felt like no time, all of a sudden, and Thanksgiving she was like really sick, and we found out she had cancer, and it was just a lot at once. And then she ended up passing like about 2 weeks later. Well, maybe it was like a week. I would say that whole like week was just, that whole like few weeks I feel like was a lot mentally, so I feel like I don't really remember how long it was, but it was probably felt like 2 weeks. I don't know how long it actually was. So I was really sad. I think it was just really shocking for our family. I think in the moment I was really trying to just be there for my mom and for my aunt, and really just like try to be strong for them. And I guess like, sorry, oh my gosh. I just like, I don't know, I just wanted to like protect them, make sure they were okay. I feel like I wasn't really even like processing like what was happening in the moment. And I didn't see my grandmom like every week or anything, like every few months I'd probably see her. So it's not like I was seeing her very often. But it was really sad. I don't want to get into too many details, but there was like a moment. Let's talk about a couple things that I feel like were important that I remember. It all kind of happened really fast, and she was like kind of out of her mind in a way. And so I don't think she was really processing what was happening while it was happening. So when she did realize what was going on, that was really sad. That was that honestly, in the grand scheme of that whole week or two, like that was the worst part. She just kept crying. I think because she knew it was most likely going to be the end, and she just was crying and so scared, and that was the worst part for me. That was the most heartbreaking. And the thing that actually sits with me the most now, besides, you know, like not getting to share memories together and like things like that, I just like have that memory. But that time was also really special because we got to like, you know, kind of all say our last things to her, and I tried to give her as much peace and tell her that it was okay and that God's going to protect her. I'm sorry. So yeah, that was like the hardest part, I think. But also it was just very sudden, so I think there was a lot of emotions. I don't think I was really getting upset then. Like, I was crying then, but I don't think it was just, you don't really process things sometimes until way after. And then, like, you think, like, I lost it's so funny in a way, because when I was making my testimony podcast, I was talking a lot about my other grandmother that passed away when I was, like, 16, I think. And it's just crazy that like, I had no idea that, like, 2 months later that was going to happen. So yeah, it's sad to, like, think that I don't have any more I was going to say I don't have any more grandmothers. My dad's father is doing great, so I'm very blessed to still have him here. But yeah, I think it was, like, a lot. I think it also made us almost like you're, like, re-grieving my grandfather's death also, because he passed away in March and then she passed away in early December, and then it was like we just were getting over one, and then all of a sudden another one came. I'm so blessed that both my grandparents were able to be at my wedding. I think it's just really hard to think that when we have kids, I'm not going to be able to, like, my grandma's not going to be able to meet them, and I always thought that she would. Because, like, we'll probably have, if it's God's will, we will definitely have kids in the next couple of years. And I just thought that she would be here for that and be able to be a great grandma. So that's really sad. But, she was 81, so she lived a very long life. And she got to be surrounded by her family at the end. And yeah, so she really couldn't ask for anything more. And I'm really glad that, I don't know, I think it just, so my family and I were going on a Thanksgiving trip to the Poconos. So that's where we were when all this was going on. We ended up, like, leaving the trip early, but that was, like, where we were when all this was going on. And we never done a trip all together like that before. We thought it'd be a really good idea for my grandmother, because my grandpa just passed away, and it was her first, like, big holiday without him. So yeah, I was really sad that it didn't work out. But I'm very, like, blessed that we were able to have the time that we did. Even though it was, like, not the best time, we still were able to spend time together and try to make the best out of it. I'm very blessed for my whole entire family, and I think in a way it's, like, going to, like, bring us all closer, which is so important and something that I'm just extremely blessed for. Besides my grandmother passing, there were other things that were going on. So I feel like God really was, like, showing me a lot about myself and the woman that I am supposed to be. And not that I wasn't being the woman that I was supposed to be, but I think I was really being I was just really being clouded by what my potential was. So I don't want to, like, get into any detail about any of it, because it's really not that. It's nobody's business. But I feel like I've learned what I deserve in a lot of ways. And I've always been a people pleaser and very empathetic. And it's a gift from God. I truly believe that that's a gift from God. There's always a lot of diversity and anger and negativity in this world. And something that I needed to learn was that boundaries are really important in relationships. And that can be in so many different ways. And protecting your heart and the peace that God has given you is really important, even if it's really hard. I think my brain is just so used to pouring so much of myself into others that not doing that is like draining. Like not doing that feels just so weird. Like it's like my first instinct always. And I think that God has shown me, like, sitting back and being like, okay, before I make this decision, even if it's a small decision, is this decision, like, why? What is this thought coming from? I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, say, for example, I don't know how to really describe that, but sometimes I have thoughts where I'm like, I need to do this right now. Are they upset with me? I need to find out right now. I think for a really long time, I always thought that if anyone was upset, it was me. Immediately, I would start reflecting on things that I did. But I think I realized that sometimes people are just upset not because of you. Like, there's so many things that people can worry about and be upset about. And we all have, like, our own traumas and anxieties and thoughts that go through our head all the time. So I'm just learning that other people's problems aren't always my problems. And that I can ask if they're okay, and then just leave it at that. Like, step away from it. Because my first instinct is to always be like, are you okay? Like, what can I do? Can I help you? Like, almost like I'm trying to save them. But in reality, it's like only God, only Jesus can save them. It's not me. Like, I can help, I can be there for people when they need me, and I think that that's an important quality that anyone should have. But I think it gets to a point where I'm poor, like, I don't have anything left in me to give myself or my family, or just people that are really deserving of it. And I go back and forth too, because I'm like, well, I'm not deserving of any of this. I'm not deserving of God's grace or glory or peace. I think sometimes I forget that I'm always trying to reach for something that isn't obtainable. Like, I always think that everybody else has things that I don't. Like, wow, they seem so confident. That's like where my head's at. It's like my confidence and insecurities have always been like low. Well, insecure. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I've always not been very confident and secure in myself. So when I see other people like that, in my head, I'm like, wow, that comes so easy to them. But yeah, that might become easy to them. But then they have problems at home, with a partner, with their family, whatever the situation is. Or they have other insecurities. Maybe that comes easy to them, but being empathetic doesn't come easy to them, or being in touch with their emotions doesn't come easy to them. And I think I don't know, for so long I was just so obsessed with like what everybody thinks of me. And it's really not that deep. It's really like not that important. Like, here's Lacey, she wants to tell you also. Like, God did not create us to sit here and worry about what everyone thinks. Hi, mamas. Oh, my girl, you're so pretty. Yeah, I feel like we should start to talk about something a little bit happier. But yeah, God has really just shown me how to protect my heart and the peace that He has given me, and that sometimes too much empathy, I don't know, I think that I get confused still because I want to be so empathetic and loving, and I think that you can be, but I think that there gets to a point where it's like, what is the reasoning behind this? Why am I doing this? Am I doing this to serve myself? Is it because I'm so worried about what their perception of me is? Yeah, just like a lot of things. So I'm just trying to really differentiate that and just have God show me and give me a lot more discernment. I don't think I'm really had a lot of discernment for a long time. So yes, all those great things. Oh, Lacey's here. She's distracting me. But yeah, these past few months, I'm honestly truly so blessed that I grew up in such an amazing household, and my parents were so loving and always there for me, and that was just something I'd never had to worry about, and which is extremely rare in society. And I'm so sorry if you have to deal with the opposite of those things. I feel for you. That has been such a blessing. I've never really had to deal with, never had to have that worry. So I think when just like a lot of things felt like crumbling down at once, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? But God always has a plan. Like, He's always still there. I can't even imagine what my life would be like if I was trying to do it on my own still. Like, I really don't know what that would look like. I can't even imagine it. I wouldn't even want to imagine it because we just can't do these things on our own. Like, life is so precious and it's a gift from God, and we're just not meant to struggle with these things on our own. So let's talk about something a little bit more happy, because I feel like we were going a little sad for a second. It's a beautiful day out today. I wanted to record this outside, honestly, but I'm not sure how my microphone would do outside. It's a beautiful day. It's like 75 degrees out. I need to get outside like right now. It's so beautiful, and I feel like this just already makes you so happy. I'm like, oh, I just can't wait for the summer and for what is to come for the next few months. It was just so cold and dark and dreary and for a while, so I feel so happy now. I am working on becoming a social media manager. Social media has been something that's been a part of my life forever, and I just wanted something that I could do for a different income and something that I'm also very passionate about. So my best friend Victoria also does social media management. She was a huge inspiration for me. And so now I'm going to be trying it myself. And that's been really fun so far. I feel like social media has always come so naturally to me. I just like know how to work it. So I'm really excited for that part. I'm just really excited for a new opportunity and getting to meet new people, work with different industries. I'm very excited. I really don't know where God wants me in that. I feel like when I was starting it, I wasn't really like praying about it and putting God into that. And I feel like I'm still not. Like, I feel like this feels like my purpose, but I'm not sure about the social media stuff. It's confusing. I don't know. We're gonna see. I trust in God, and I think it's gonna be a really great learning experience, a really great getting out of my comfort zone experience, and I feel like that's something that I really need right now. So that's a big goal, is to continue that this year. And I mean, I'm sure we're gonna have kids in the next couple years, so I really just want to start preparing for that if possible, and just start getting our house together. I feel like my husband and I are big procrastinators, so we've been putting off things for a long time. So I think we're really going to get that stuff in order. We are going to be at the beach a lot this summer, so I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I think my goal also, I've been trying to read my Bible more often. I don't read it often, so I'm working on a Bible plan right now, so it's been really great. And yeah, I'm so excited too for what this podcast is to come. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be having a podcast episode every week like I thought. Maybe like once or twice a month. I'm not exactly sure yet. We will see where this journey takes me. I definitely want to have my husband on soon, so I'm really excited about that. He's a great communicator and talker, and I'm just really excited. And he's just funny, so I feel like he'll be really great on this. Yeah, so I don't know what else I'm going to talk about. I definitely do want to do an episode on people pleasing. I think that's really important. I did kind of talk about that today slightly, but not really anything too deep. I didn't really deep dive into the topic. So I definitely will if that is something that anyone might be interested in. Maybe even just my journey on it and update you guys throughout the year. Things that I struggle with, things that haven't gone really well for me. So that could be a good idea too. I feel like I love giving advice and just listening to people. So I feel like it would be nice to have guests on. So we will see where this takes us. I'm so excited for this year. And it really feels like a new start. And I'm just very blessed for every opportunity and just being able to get to sit here today and talk to you guys and bring this podcast back. I'm very excited for. So thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I really want to try to make this a priority. So I will really try to. I feel like my laptop was being weird too. For some reason I'm making excuses, but it really was. My laptop's old, so the storage was getting bad, so there were just a lot of little things, and then every time I would go to film a podcast, I'd just be like, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or I was focusing on other things. So that's another goal of mine is learning balance. So yes, that's all my things. Thank you guys for listening. I know this was kind of just a little jumble up of an update, but I definitely will be coming back very soon with some more exciting topics. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'm so blessed to have you. I just realized I didn't do my normal intro, but that's okay. I love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.